Hi guys, hope you're all doing well there. In today's tutorial, I want to show how to create these two buttons using variants and making them interactive components on hover. We'll get this effect, and on click, let me just restart it, and on click, when we click this button, we're going to have this progress bar running in it, changing into the text and ready to proceed. Let's see it again. Clicking on it, the progress bar is doing its thing, finishing the loading and ready to proceed. So, looks great. And let's go into Figma and see how to create that. So, just one suggestion, if you are new to components and variants, I suggest that you will use the links that I will publish, that are published actually below this video in the description. So check out how to create components, create their variants, and of course interactive components are created from the component variants. Okay, so let's start create quickly our button. I'll just take a frame and I will do something like that. Let's give it a same height like here, which is 58. Actually, I did create the same thing, which it doesn't really matter. And I will throw a text inside it. Let's call it just button for the sake of this tutorial. That's good enough. Let me just minimize this bar. Okay. And I will even give it the same color, which is great. I'm going to call this button slash default. And what I'm going to do now is create the arrow quickly that we will animate on hover. We have the arrow that we can quickly create like that. Okay, good. Make it a bit smaller. And I'm throwing it inside this frame. And the other thing is I'm going to make a circle, which will now be like this. I will give it a bit of a darker color like that, something like this. That's okay. I'm going to throw it in this frame. I will place it, let's call it hover circ, and this I will call arrow, and I will put the text above. And for now, I will do the circle in opacity 0. The arrow, I'm going to just take and put outside the frame. Of course, I will drag it in. It's okay if it will be actually above the text or below it. It doesn't really matter that much. And of course, because the frame is in clip content, so we don't see the arrow which belongs to the frame. It's right here, but we don't see it because it's outside the borders of this frame. I'm going to duplicate this button. I'm going to call it hover. And in this state, I'm going to take the circle. I will give it opacity of 100%. I will make it big like so that it will just cover all the area of the button. And the arrow I'm gonna drag inside here, and you know what, yeah, we'll save it like this, that's okay. And I will drag them both to the center of the frame. Basically, that's the whole trick. I mean, creating these two states. There's nothing really more to it. And I can choose, select these two frames and create component set, which actually when clicking on it, it makes each one of them as a master component and a variant of the component, which is called button. If I will open this, I will see the hover state and the default state. If I drag this one out, you will see that this is a master component by itself. Okay, good. So basically this button, the first one, actually is ready. Let's see. Let's give it the same background color, this frame, and let's take one instance of one of them. Of course, I will take the first one because if we're doing the hover action, of course, I will want the default state first one on the frame. So I'm just dragging it to our frame here. And now I will create the interaction by going into prototype, dragging an arrow to this frame, connecting it here, and I'm going to select while hovering. While hovering, and the type of animation that I will select is smart animate. I'm animating this circle, this one, and I'm animating the arrow which will move in. Okay, so basically smart animate 300 milliseconds. I think it's okay. Ease out seems fine to me. And let's give it a test drive and see how it behaves. Great. So we have our first button, quick and easy, behaves amazing. Okay, great. Now let's create the other button. So that's the first one, and now we will create this button. Okay, this button which has the progress bar actually running on it or in it when we are clicking, and then at the end we'll create the color changing and the animation. Okay, let's see how to do it. So creating a button, let's give it kind of the same size. That's okay. And we're gonna put a text here. Let's say the same like here. Let's go. Good. And now I will call this one. Of course, by the way, I'm just pointing out that it doesn't really matter if I will, let's say, create this. Let's call it a let's go button. It doesn't really matter, and I can create a component and then click here to create a variant of it. So technically, I mean, it doesn't really matter if I do it. Sorry, I deleted its name. It doesn't matter right now. I will fix it. But it doesn't really matter if I do it like I did here. I mean, I can design the states before I make them a component set, or depends on the situation, of course, or I can just make it a component and then create a variant and design the variant while I'm here. Okay, so doesn't really matter. What we're gonna do now, I want to keep on designing this button by adding to it. Actually, you know what, I'll give it the round corners like I did there. Oh, sorry, I meant doing it here. And the other thing that I want to do is actually create our progress bar, which I will put it here and drag it outside the frame. I'll give it a green color, something like that. It's okay. Let's call it a prog bar, and I'm gonna drag it outside. By the way, I will place it below the text because when it comes in, I don't want it to cover the text. So let's put it here. I know it jumped outside of the frame. We will just drag it inside again, and I will create this V icon, which is gonna be like that. Good. And we'll give it right now, let me call it a V sign or V icon, that's okay. And this one I will give it now an opacity of 0%. Okay, so we have the first date, the first, not date, state actually designed, and I'm gonna duplicate this, and now I will design its first state. So the first state, the first progress of the progress bar actually is gonna go something like this, and then I'm gonna duplicate it again, and I will give it a progress of something like this. Yeah, something like that. I'm gonna turn this text into a white color, and our V sign is gonna be white. Oh, you know what? With the V sign, I'll wait till the progress bar finishes. So it's gonna go up to here. You know what? Let me give it just something like that. And oh, okay. And now actually I'm gonna take another duplication of this button, and then I'm going to drag it all the way to the end of the frame, and now I'm going to give the V sign 100% opacity, and a white color. Actually, it should be white. It should never be black. So let's do it black even within opacity 0. I don't want to see the animation of the color changing. I don't need it here. In some cases I can definitely do that. And the last state, by the way, as I did there, okay, I'm gonna change the color of the progress bar to something like this. Yeah, that's okay. Here it's gonna be, actually, I want to give it a, you know what, I'm going to duplicate this one, and I'm going to change its text to proceed. I will place it in the middle. I will copy it and put it here on it because I want kind of like a smoother animation of it. Here I will give it a 0%. I will light up this one again, and here I'm gonna do exactly the opposite. Okay, I mean here it's gonna be the proceed 100%, and the let's go text is gonna be on 0. And the other thing that I will do is just rotate this V sign, and we'll reshape it a bit to make it like that. Yeah, that's okay. And it can be here. Good. So now we have all our states ready, and the only thing that we need to do now is combine them into a component set, which is actually variants. I mean, variants that are becoming one component. Create component set, and let's go button. Let's see what states we have here. We're going to give them different names, of course. That's going to be a default. Sorry, the first one is going to be a default. Now I'm getting a message, which is right, that I have a conflict with the variant names because all of them are actually the same name. Here I didn't work kind of like in an organized way with the naming, so I'm going to do it now. This is going to be like, let's say, I don't know, kind of 15% progress, and let's copy that and give this one a, let's call it like, I don't know, 65% progress. Of course it's not precise, but kind of. And this one is going to be prog done, and this one is going to be proceed. Good. So now we have our buttons ready, and now let's create the animation. Not the buttons. So yeah, I mean, it's the buttons, actually the variants. Now let's create the animation. So I'm going into prototype. Of course, I'm gonna connect this first variant into to the second one, and it's gonna be a smart animate on click. That's fine. Yeah, 300 milliseconds. We can fine tune it after, if you will see if it's too slow or too fast, so we can actually fine tune it after seeing it how it works. This one is going to proceed with a trigger of after delay, okay, an after delay trigger, which actually automatically, when it comes to here, it automatically proceeds to the next variant. Let's give it a, I guess, 1 second. That's okay. Again, we can fine tune the timing after it's done. So a delay. When it comes to here, we're gonna have a delay of 1 second, and after 1 second, it's gonna go and animate to this variant. I mean, again, click here, it's gonna wait 1 second and going to, and we'll go to proceed to this variant and animate the animation that we have here, which is actually the progress bar coming to here and the text changing its color. And the animation here, I will give it a bit slower. Let's give it a second, and then we can again fine tune it, see if it's too slow or too fast. We can always change it easy. And then I'm proceeding to here, same thing after delay. Here, let's give it a half a second, I guess. I think that's okay. We will see the delay itself and the animation. Let's give it also half a second. I think it's okay. And we will see how it plays. And here I will give it a delay of, let's give it a delay of 1.5 seconds, which is 1500 milliseconds. And the animation itself, let's leave it, I don't know, leave it half a second. Yeah, let's see how it goes. No problem. We can always fine tune it easily later. I'm gonna take the first state, put it here, and let's give it a test drive. Good. Okay, looks very nice. I think that the timing also is good, but there, what I did, one thing I don't like that much, let me see how it runs. Oh no, it's not this one, sorry. I'm gonna play this one. One thing I need to fix here, which is the animation of the V turning into the pointing icon, and I know the reason why. I know what I forgot to do. I will do it now. Good. Okay. Figma doesn't know to animate lines very good. So in this particular case, what I will do is, I'll show you now, I will outline stroke, and when I will turn it into a shape, the animation of it is gonna be much better. I will go through all the states actually and just outline its stroke. Yep. And here, do we have it? Yeah, okay. Outline stroke. Okay, good. So again, by the way, just to explain the V thing, I mean, I don't need to have it here and here. Not exactly, but I'm just, like to work in a good order, knowing that I'm having all the items that I'm working with in my variants. So basically, again, it's not a must to have it in these first ones, but I just put them in all my frames. You can do it even without it. So now I think that it's gonna animate better. Okay, let's see now how it goes. Not exactly. Okay, still not kind of like doing 100% thing. Icon, stroke, doesn't really matter. Oh, you know what? Let me see. That's an icon stroke. I want to put it here. I guess, yeah, in the first one that I did, actually it did came out a bit better. Okay, so it's not running perfect, honestly. I don't like it that much. It doesn't run so smooth. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, not exactly what I had in mind, but um, let me see. 1 second. By the way, there I know what I did. I did something different a bit. Here I had it coming from, oh, sorry. This proceed is, yeah, I just placed it here. And here, let me just put it, yeah, something like that. Let me see again. Okay, so now it's good, looking better. Let me see the first one that I did. Did it actually look better? I mean, the V sign, let me see. No, actually, it's the same. It's just a bit smaller. So anyway, Figma in these kind of animation is not like the sharpest one, but it's still running okay. Let's see it happening again. Okay, it's really kind of fighting with me there. And then okay, good. So we have the animation we wanted. Basically, it's working fine. And this is how you do it. That's basically it. So that was kind of a short tutorial this time. I mean, not too short, but not too long, but I think it's quite understood. And again, if you want to see some more cool tutorials about interactive components, variants, components, auto layout, all other types of prototyping. So please go ahead and see more tutorials in this channel. I will appreciate a like very much and will be more happy if you subscribe to my channel if you still didn't. And a lot of very cool tutorials will come in the short period of time. I mean, in the short coming future. So thank you guys for watching this tutorial. Have a great, let's actually now it's the 31 of December. So tomorrow it's gonna be a new year. I mean, if you see it today, tomorrow, or in a week or 2 months from now. So just have a great coming year. See you in the next tutorial. Bye for now. Thank you.